Hello and welcome back to Kpop Light, where we fangirl responsibly. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Rachel. And today we are talking about our favorite underrated K-pop idols. And we are so excited.
We really are. I have so much to say. I've prepared my bullet points.
Yeah, we both picked a few people that we adore that we feel like personally do not receive enough attention and love, and we are excited to yap about them and explain why everybody should love them.
Yes, we're going to promote them to our best ability.
But before we jump in, we have to chat about what we've been up to these days. So, Lindsay, what have you been loving, listening to, doing?
Okay, well, full transparency, before we started recording, we were chatting and I had to withhold this information so that I could say it on the pod. Rachel was talking about H Mart and I thought that I should share. I listened to the book Crying in H Mart. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I have it. I'm about halfway through, but I've never finished it.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I listened to it, which that's a new thing for me. I've never really listened to books before, but I really liked hearing her voice because it's a memoir by Michelle Zauner, I think is how you say her name. So that was a fun experience to hear her voice and her story. Largely it's about her mom passing away, and her mom was Korean. She's half Korean. And the whole first chapter is essentially her in H Mart, and it was so beautiful. And so that just made me think of it when you're talking about H Mart. Mm-hmm. And the way she was depicting it and describing it was like so visceral. It was like making me emo because she was like talking about observing different families and different dynamics and stuff, which was really cute. So thought I would recommend that book. It's based around food, really, and so she just describes Korean food a lot, and that was how she really connected with her mother and has a lot of memories surrounding Korean food. So that was really cool, and I'm trying to, in my stay off social media era of like trying to cut back, I feel like reading and listening to audiobooks is like a good, feels like my brain is like improving that way as opposed to rotting.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I have so many friends who are into audiobooks and sing their praises from the mountaintops. So I should probably do that because I listen to podcasts and I love it. And I feel like it's in a similar vein. So.
And audiobooks are nice because like I'm cooking, I'm listening. I'm on a walk, I'm listening. Even while I'm working on my computer, I can listen. So would recommend. I had like never really gotten into it before. I thought that I would like not have the attention or like get distracted, but I've liked it. It's been good.
Love that. That's a great one. You're inspiring me to finish reading it because I started it a long time ago. So.
Pick it back up. Turn those pages.
Well, first off, today I'm wearing a shirt that I got in Korea. It's the character of a guy in BTS, and I love it. It says, "The whole universe interests me," which I feel like is applicable for me and Lindsay as two people who are very curious and always trying new things and trying new hobbies, and that's why I got it. So I was telling her it's one of my first times wearing it, and I'm loving it.
Love it. I feel like that quote, or not quote, that saying applies to V as well, which it's V from why did I forget the name? Which it's V from BTS's character Tata on the shirt. So cute. Also, I just remember getting that with you too. We were in like a crazy mood at that time, and we were in Line Friends, and they were closing. They were like trying to kick us out. I was like filming dance videos in the mirror. That's the one that had the hand imprints of BTS as well, where you can
my gosh, yes,
feel their hands out of copper or whatever, and like put your hand on theirs. So we were just like, we were up to shenanigans. It was funny.
There's a video that I took of Lindsay putting her hand in Suga's, aka Minyoongi, and it is one of the funniest clips to me. I watch it regularly to have a giggle, And because she just puts her hand in it and says, "Marry me, Yoongi." And it's incredible. So we'll post that on Instagram.
Wow. So many memories tied to this shirt. I love it. Thanks for bringing it out today.
Yeah, I know. I had to wear it for the pod. But in terms of what I've been listening to these days, I think last time we chatted about trying to expand our horizons into some female K-pop artists. So I listened to Jennie's album and Lisa's album based off of a recommendation from our friend Haley. I know you've been listening as well, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the ladies of Blackpink.
Yeah, I listened to Jennie's. You know what's crazy is every single song is explicit.
I noticed that too. I was like, is this necessary? I'm not understanding why that happened.
I feel like only like rappers have like every song on their album explicit. Like Ariana Grande isn't cussing in every song, I don't think.
No, because it's not necessary. And also not every single song on her album was like an intense rap song. Like there's just songs where she's kind of singing, you know?
Yeah. Like, and I have no problem with like, it's fine cussing in songs, but it's just interesting that every single song is explicit. It's like she's trying to make a statement or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fine with a well-placed cuss word, and if it makes sense in the song, but if you have it in every single song, it seems like maybe you tried to do that or something, like.
Yeah, just an interesting observation. I really liked it. I definitely think she chose her singles well. Mantra, like Jennie, those are freaking bops.
Yeah, those are my favorite ones. She also has really good collabs.
Yeah, she does.
My favorite songs on that whole album were the singles and then the collabs that she did. And then the rest of the songs I'm kind of like indifferent about. But
yeah. I mean, yeah, getting Dua Lipa, Doechii, Childish Gambino, that's kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. She has the star power.
Yeah, overall, I liked Jennie's album. And I also liked Lisa's album. But to me, it and this may be a hot take, and I'm sorry, I think they're so talented. It all sounds kind of similar. Like, I think a lot of the Blackpink girls are kind of doing a similar vibe, whereas BTS, when they've done their solo stuff, everyone has a very distinct sound and is really doing something kind of unique to them, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
Blackpink, it's kind of sounding like they kind of all are going in the same direction musically, which is good because all of their songs are bangers and are like killing it on the charts and are blowing up on social media, and you know, they're collaborating with really cool famous people. So I love that for them. But when I was listening to the albums, I was like, this kind of all sounds similar.
Yeah.
But
it's a valid observation. I feel like specifically Lisa and Jennie are similar. I feel like it's like these badasses that they just want to make global pop stars, and it works. Like their singles are like on the charts, like they're doing amazing things. It's not necessarily something I would just like choose to listen to all the time. Yeah. And then in my mind, which this could be a misconception, Jisoo is kind of like still K-pop girly. Like those songs still sound very K-pop to me. And I think this might be wrong, but I think she is the most popular or one of the most popular in Korea. Like I think specifically with the Korean audience, she's very popular. And then Rosé tried to do more of like a alternative pop punk thing too. But to your point, yeah, I do think they're all kind of trying to go like pop girly, pop diva.
To make another parallel between BTS and Blackpink, they're kind of doing what they did to Jungkook, which is like, we're going to make you a global superstar, like all English, everything, like that kind of route, as opposed to a different kind of theme or concept for each one. They're all just like, you're going global, ladies. We're sending you straight to the top. Number one global in the whole world. Which, love that for them.
Love that for them. It's just not, from an artistic point of view, it's not like my favorite kind of package and vibe. but they're killing it. And again, a lot of the songs are great. So
yeah,
kill it, girls. Did you see that ATEEZ announced a tour?
I did see that.
I'm feeling like kind of I want to go.
Are they coming to Texas?
Yeah. I think they're going to the same place Stray Kids is, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
In Arlington. So we can look into it. But another thing I wanted to bring up about that I think is just an interesting thing about K-pop is they announced that a couple days ago. The tickets go on sale April 8th and the concert is in the summer.
That is such a quick turnaround.
Yes, for being like a huge, like this is like stadium level tours.
Yeah.
And so to be a global artist traveling that far and to announce it a couple months before and tickets are on sale in a couple days is so crazy to me, because usually artists like that, Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, like you're buying the ticket a year in advance. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I love it because like I love like a surprise tour, like, oh, got a chance to see ATEEZ. But it is just bizarre in terms of like the planning of it all.
K-pop, like, I guess has the power to just say like, hey, we're going on tour in 2 months and completely sell out.
Yeah, and still sell it out in 5 minutes. But yeah, we should look into
that. Would be a fun
the ATEEZ
concert
tour. I think I would be scared.
It looks very sexual, I will say.
Very intense. I think I'd be like, ah!
Yeah, I've seen some clips and they look fun. Like the concerts are always fun, I think, because the music is so high intensity and fun. But I think I also would be a little bit scared.
We can dress as pirates.
Yeah.
Just like the vibe of like everyone dressing in like pirate and like dark garb compared to 17, where it's like lavender and pink. Like light
and just like making fun
dresses.
Of them in any way that they can.
The vibe could not be more different.
Funny. We could go like full on actual pirates though. Like
no, like ARG. I have something covering my eye, an eye patch,
and like a little hook on her hand. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I would go full pirate mode. Okay, we'll look into it. But anyway, I just wanted to bring up the fact that K-pop artists do these huge tours so chaotically.
Yeah. Also, I saw, and I'll talk more about them in a second, but the Rose also just announced a world tour. And yeah, I think they're coming to Texas in like June or maybe July.
Soon.
But so soon. Yeah, I think tickets go on sale soon as well. And so it's just crazy. Like, I mean, I will drop everything to go, but we'll
be going. Yeah, I guess like they will be at probably a smaller venue, so maybe those, I don't know. I just, with stadiums and stuff, I'm like, don't you have to know like a long time in advance? And like,
which maybe they are booking them so far in advance, and it's just part of the strategy to make it go on sale really quickly.
Yeah.
Like maybe this has been in the works from ATEEZ's team for like years, but that it's just crazy that it's like such a quick announcement and then selling process. But
yeah, you're right. I'm sure that's the case. I know that they're master planners at these companies. All right, let's land this plane and get on into our underrated K-pop acts, rants.
So ready for this.
Who do you want to tell me about first? Make a case for someone that is underrated.
The first person I want to talk about is Dino from 17. And I feel like you are with me on this one.
Yes. You're starting with a member in a group that seems to be underrated and not appreciated as much as a member of the group as they should be. Yes. I full-heartedly agree with this.
This kind of became an epiphany. One time Lindsay was over here at my house and we were watching these YouTube videos that are like a compilation of how popular an idol is in different countries, like over the years, and it ranks them. Like if the video's on 17, it'll rank every single member of 17 in terms of popularity, in terms of like which country or, different demographic factors and stuff. And we were watching them, several of these videos, and Dino was consistently at the bottom, the very last place of popularity. And we turned to each other and were just shocked by this fact. I just adore Dino so much and cannot believe that he would ever be anyone's least favorite. And my argument for Dino being underrated is that he is an insanely talented dancer, and I personally think he's a very good singer as well. He has some good parts in 17 songs, and he has a solo song as well, which is one of my favorites. And I just think all around he's a very talented performer, dancing wise, singing wise. He can even rap. Mm-hmm. He has a really strong stage presence, I think, and just performs really well. Like his facial expressions, he's, for me, like an all-rounder. Like he has no weak side. And his dancing in particular, I think, is phenomenal. And I think that he is overlooked a lot because he's in a third generation group like 17, who has very many talented members. But then also the other groups of that same era, BTS, many others that are like iconic. He's being compared to that generation of people, but he's like the youngest one in 17, and he's more along the age demographic of a lot of the groups in the fourth gen. So like Stray Kids and TXT and a lot of the newer groups, he's age-wise more comparative to them. But I just think he's looked over because of the group that he's in and the generation that he's in, and he just is like kind of forgotten. But I think he is so talented, and it makes me so sad that he is consistently in the bottom of popularity. And I just think that is a crime, personally, and not okay.
I agree. I have a lot of things to add. It's interesting that you brought up the generation of it all and the fact that he's the youngest, because I recently saw that him and is that his name? Mm-hmm. The guy from TXT?
Yeah, Youngjin.
Okay, I get him and Youngjin confused, the names.
Fair.
Anyways, Youngjun. Yes?
Yeah.
Youngjun. Yeah. Okay. He and Dino are apparently like BFFs. Mm-hmm. And I think they're the same age. So obviously Youngjun like debuted later with TXT, and kind of they're a very different generation to me than 17. Mm-hmm. And so I think that like shows the age divide and like how he's like BFFs with him. So that's like definitely an interesting thing to think about, because yeah, like how can he be compared to Jungkook? You know, it's just like very different stages. And I totally agree. I think he's super talented. I also love his personality. He's one of my favorite personalities in 17. He's always down for the bit and always down to do whatever idea. Like in the Busak Soon comebacks, he played the character. He always is so expressive. He just did the funny like dance challenge for the Hoshi and Woozi comeback. And I feel like within the group, everyone loves and adores him. So to your point, it was so shocking when we were watching that. And apparently, according to this YouTube video, the stats show that he is consistently the least favorited of the group across all countries over all of the years.
So and heartbreaking.
Like, I don't know who I would put at the bottom besides him, but it is just odd to me that every country, every year, he's the bottom. Like, he should at least like be up a few spots in some places. So yeah, it makes me sad as well. I think he's great. I remember at the concert, he sang like a cappella during the section where they were
so good. I remember you being shocked by that. You were like,
no, it sounded so good. Like, I didn't think that he had a bad voice by any means, but I think there's some members in 17 that wouldn't sing a cappella, if you know what I'm saying. And so he did that and sounded so good. And yeah, I love him. I'm never annoyed by him. Like, he always kills it no matter what he does. And
he has some really funny one-liners. Like,
yeah.
I remember the Game Caterers variety show that they did where they were just playing games with them. And the MC asked Dino, like, what do your members steal from you? And he just responds, my joy and happiness or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so funny. I know 17's huge group, very popular, but it breaks my heart that Sweet Dino is the least popular, and that should not be the case. Dino deserves all the love in the world. So
seriously, it does break my heart to see him down there at the bottom.
Yeah, if you haven't seen his Danceology videos, give those a watch. Those are fantastic. It's where he choreographs a dance routine to a song, not a 17 song, but just kind of like a random song. And he makes all the choreography and gets someone to dance with him, and they're always so good too. So to that point, his choreography skills are very strong as well. So
Sweet Dino, I'm so glad that you ride for him and that we were able to highlight him today.
I know. Is he my favorite? No, but he is. He's up there. He's
you should not be at the bottom is our point.
He should not be at the bottom. Yeah.
Love him dearly.
Who is on your list?
I want to speak today about Sir Jackson Wang. And I know what you're thinking.
I am so curious as to what your argument is, considering this man is the most popular celebrity in China.
I know what you guys are thinking. He's already pretty popular. He was in GOT7, has a solo career, etc. He is Chinese, as Rachel said, so he does have a huge fan base in China. I think, didn't you look it up and he was like one of the most followed people in China or something? Or like,
yeah, I think he's like the most followed Chinese celebrity.
Yeah, something like that.
On Instagram.
But I think he needs to be bigger. I don't think he's big enough. I think he has the unique potential to be a global superstar. I think he should be like what Jenny is being right now. And he's not. He really is not. He is not a household name. You know, little girls in Kansas aren't singing his songs like they are like Jenny. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to give kind of I have some bullet points here of why I love him, why he's great, and why he has the unique ability to be the global superstar. Okay?
Okay.
First of all,
Tell me.
Beyond gifted, okay? And he is gifted from birth. He has an insane childhood. He was born and raised in Hong Kong, went to an American international school. He speaks 4 languages, Mandarin, Cantonese, Korean, and English. And his English is essentially perfect. And he's also, as I said, gifted from birth. He was a fencing master. And he almost went to the 2012 Olympics and was also given a scholarship to Stanford, but declined to go train in Korea. I mean,
so impressive.
That means he really had the passion for the music if he was turning down all those opportunities. And the fencing gave him an incredible bod and the incredible ability to move that bod. Okay? He's agile. He's very cool, quick on his feet. He just, and that transfers to his stage presence and just his general aura as well. And he also is someone that just seems to be good at everything he tries.
Yeah, for sure.
Like definitely anything physical he's going to be great at, but it seems like if he was doing a puzzle, like he would finish first. Like if he's playing a board game, he's going to win. He just is one of those people that is just a naturally gifted person. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, they pick things up easily, like quick learners. Everything that they try, they're good at. He definitely is that kind of person, for sure.
For sure. And I believe he has the unique qualities to be accepted in Asian audiences and Western audiences. And I don't think many people have this. For instance, I mean, we bring this up a lot. We love Jungkook. As I've mentioned before, he is my bias. But they're trying to push him to be this like Western pop star, and he just lacks, first of all, the language skills, and I think also some cultural awareness to become a global superstar. But Jackson, I don't even know how to articulate it. He has what it takes to make it anywhere. People in China and Korea obviously love him, and he has, I think, lived in LA for a time, has a lot of friends in LA, speaks English. He goes on like American YouTube shows and kills it. He culturally is, I feel like, could fit anywhere. Again, he's good at everything. Yeah. And I also think he can get along with anyone and feel comfortable anywhere. And going with that, he speaks his freaking mind. He will open up about things. He talks about things that no other K-pop idols do. Very open in interviews, talks about taboo things. He just did an interview with Eric Nam and was talking about how his face is melting and that maybe it's time for him to get a surgery done, which like usually idols just get surgeries done and don't talk about it and act like no one gets surgeries done. Yeah. So I think he's just very grounded, understands the world, has a global perspective, and has that more of American sense where he's like more open, more casual, more funny, not so buttoned up. And he also is, I feel like he's attuned to like meme culture and things that are happening in the world, if that makes sense. Like he recently just was doing like a bunch of TikTok dances with girls for press and stuff, which people don't normally do in the K-pop industry. So I feel like he, again, has this unique stance where he kind of has a foot in both worlds, and I feel like would translate well to all audiences. I also wrote, not awkward, can hug girls. Again, that kind of goes into the cultural point of it all. I feel like growing up, he was exposed to a lot of different types of people. I think he's traveled a lot, has a lot of friends from a lot of different places. And so, you know, some of those Korean cultural things that might seem a little bit odd to a Western audience, he's able to kind of supersede those. For instance, I was watching J-Hope behind the scenes of him filming his dance challenges for his comeback. He is so awkward with the girls. They don't even look at each other. They bow to each other from about 10 feet away. He doesn't speak to them, never touches them. Jackson, he's not awkward. Okay. I think he could get along with anyone. He could handle any situation. Just a friendly person that, again, I think could really get along with anyone in any country. So that gives him the unique ability to be a global star. Okay, now let's get on to his talents.
That was just the intro.
that was just kind of the background on him. But I mean, I have to talk about how good he is as, you know, to Alan as well. Rachel and I have spoken about, he has just a natural aura. He is captivating as heck. You want to look at him. His face is just a special face. and there just seems to be a glow around him at all times, in my opinion. Yep. He has a very unique and captivating voice. The tone is very interesting. It's kind of raspy. The way he uses it is great. He, again, is someone, like in a GOT7 song, his part stands out. I want more of him. I want him to be singing the whole song, essentially, when he is on a song. And I don't think, I will not claim he's the best dancer in the world, but he is a great dancer, and your eye is drawn to him. It's the way he finishes
it's that natural swag.
Yes, and expresses the moves. In the GOT7 comeback of Python, I look at him, and I don't think he's known to be the best dancer in the group, but the way he is doing the moves is my favorite. So he has a natural swag, natural charisma, and again, is talented in all of the ways that a pop star needs to be talented. And my last few points here are that he is business-minded and strategic. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he has been successful. I think he has done really good partnerships and collabs. I think he knows people in the business. And he also has vision. I think he is artistic. I think he knows what he wants. I think he will stick to what he wants. He knows his purpose, will stay true to himself. And as opposed to Jungkook, who again I love, I don't think he had much vision for what his solo debut was. I think it was company being like, here's some cool songs in English. We'll make some cool dances and you'll go on Jimmy Fallon or whatever. You know, where I think Jackson's he's the leader. He's coming up with the ideas, the songs, the visual he'll push
concept.
He'll push back. He'll speak his mind. He's doing what he wants to do. Now, I will say what he has wanted to do so far is nothing that I love. It's questionable. His solo stuff is not my favorite. I think with the right songs and the right kind of direction, as I've stated before, he has what it takes to be huge. I think that he should be a global star.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your time.
Fantastic speech and argument. I'm convinced. And I'm sure all of our listeners are as well.
Jackson Wang for president.
Yes, I love Jackson Wang, as you know. I agree with all of the points that you made. And I understand now why you wanted to talk about him in this underrated episode, because he really could be, I feel like, the next like global superstar, like Justin Bieber, Harry Styles, Jackson Wang. Yeah.
He is the person from K-pop that I can see fitting with those people. There are not many others that I see as, like a Justin Bieber. I think he has all of these elements that would be able to put him in that position.
Mm-hmm. And I think something that you were talking about that I found interesting was when you were saying that he is super open and just talks about literally whatever, like nothing's off the table, and he's not awkward with females. And I wonder if, because I know GOT7 and Jackson, they're not that popular in Korea, but I think it's because GOT7 and Jackson, like, they never really conformed to that those Korean standards of like, we're not going to talk about dating, we're not going to not even look at girls, like, you know, it's it like there's been interviews where Jackson years and years ago was talking about, like, someone asked how he learned Korean so quickly when he first moved to Korea, and he said, oh, because I was dating, like I dated and I had to talk to the girls that I was dating. And that's like pretty crazy. That
usually people get canceled if they admit that they've ever spoken to a female.
Yeah, no, literally. Most recently, a guy got kicked out of his group because he had an ex-girlfriend from before they debuted. So it's kind of crazy. So I just feel like they have always kind of said what they wanted, and that's maybe like hindered their popularity in Korea. But I love that they do that. I love that they just are outspoken and say what they want, and I think they're kind of like bad boys of K-pop because of that. But I think it's made them more popular maybe on the global scale.
Totally. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I don't think they've conformed to like the K-pop way of doing things for sure. And since I've gotten into GOT7 recently, as this has been a theme over this whole podcast since episode 1, a lot of the members have talked about how they were just never popular or like really accepted in Korea. And they were more popular globally in other places. And Bam Bam specifically was like, that was something I wanted to do after GOT7, you know, went on their break of like trying to get to the Korean audience. So to your point, I think, Jackson it's still popular in Korea, but he's not the star that, you know, the guys of BTS are or anything like that.
We are 2 of Jackson's biggest fans, and I know he's coming out with an album, so I hope he goes on tour, and I hope we can see him, because he would be so good.
J-Dubs, we love you.
J-Dubs.
But also, like, can I be on your team, and can I, like, give you some ideas of what music you should make?
He has some songs you like. It's an old one, Love You, Miss You.
Yeah, that's on the playlist.
You like that one.
I do like that one.
Yeah, he needs to do some more of those more upbeat, kind of fun.
He needs a song that puts him on that global trajectory to be popular. Yeah.
My next person that I want to talk about, you mentioned in your dissertation on Jackson Wang.
Oh.
And that is Eric Nam.
Eric.
And again, maybe to those who know Eric Nam, this is a surprise because he is very well known and beloved. But I'm talking about Eric in terms of his music. So if you're not familiar with Eric Nam, he it's kind of hard to describe. He's had a very interesting career path, but he was born and raised in the U.S. and went to college, got his degree, and then he was working at Deloitte, which is crazy. And then he just decided that he wanted to move to Korea and go on this talent show, which is similar to like a X Factor or The Voice or something like that. So he quit his job at Deloitte and moved to Korea to perform on this show. And he didn't win, but he's so charismatic and likable that everybody fell in love with him. And he decided to stay. And then he started making music, and he had such a great personality that he started to be kind of a MC, kind of like a talk show host over there, and was doing that for different programs. And everybody just fell in love with who he is as a person. And I think at one point had a nickname of like Korea's boyfriend. I don't know if you saw that ever, but that was kind of his nickname. He was like a household name. Everybody knew who he was and everybody loved him. But he's always been known more for his interviewing and MCing and just being a personality than his music. And so I think while people know him, it's more of like the guy who does interviews, or he has a podcast now where he interviews K-pop stars. And now he kind of serves this role as like an industry veteran who's done K-pop, he's experienced it, now he's kind of done, and now he just is more of like that, like a personality type. But his music is so good, and that's why I wanted to include him in this episode. Because I think while a lot of people might know his name, they might not have listened to his music, and that is a shame. He is nowadays more of an American artist, I would say. So he released a bunch of music in Korean when he was over in Korea and being like fully invested in being a K-pop star as a solo artist. And then at some point he moved back to the US. I'm not sure exactly when, maybe like 5 years ago, maybe more. He moved back to the US and had started releasing English music. And his music is across his whole discography, the Korean stuff, the English stuff, every single song is so good. He is so talented. He's a talented songwriter, a talented lyricist, and he, to your point of Jackson, he has like a clear vision of the kind of artist that he wants to be and the kind of music that he wants to make. And he's writing his own music. He's not having someone else do it. You can tell very clearly how involved he is and how passionate he is about the process of making his music. And I saw Eric in concert 3 years ago here in Dallas, and it was like a tiny venue, and he was absolutely phenomenal. He doesn't play an instrument, at least on stage. He might when he's making the music, but he just sings and he dances, actually, which is kind of funny because he talks about maybe not like being a dancer, but he pulls out some dance moves and he's pretty good. But his live vocals are absolutely insane. He sounds exactly the same as the recording, and you love to see that.
Yeah.
But his performance is so strong, and he knows how to work a crowd. He is making people laugh. He is telling jokes. He is engaging with the audience. He's reading signs, calling people out, and giving people a hard time, and just really connecting with the audience. And as I've said, he's a very charismatic person, so I think he just naturally does that, whether he's on TV or on a podcast or performing. But he's so engaging, which just makes a show that much more fun. And honestly, his show is one of my favorite concerts that I've ever been to, K-pop or not K-pop. He's just such a fun person, and you feel like you know him even if you don't. You're like, I know him. Like, he's, because all the content he puts out, like, in how open he is and how much he connects with his audience. And so it was just a very fun show, and his vocals are so good. And just to wrap up my argument, I think he is so impressive that he built his career from scratch after going to college and having a full-on career at a Big Four accounting firm, and just deciding to pivot and being like, I want to do music and become a K-pop star. And he moved to Korea and he did it. He had a successful career, and at one point decides to move back home to the US, and he's still making music. And I think his music has kind of taken a back seat recently. I think he's focusing more on his podcast, and he actually is acting now. So he was in a movie that it was released in one of the like indie festivals. I'm not sure if it's out yet, but I think he plays a doctor.
Oh,
I'm really excited to watch it. I've heard he's pretty good, so that'll be fun. But his music is kind of taking a back seat, and I think it's because it's never really taken off, which doesn't make any sense to me, because his music is absolutely phenomenal, as I've said many times. I just think that he should be so much more popular than he is in terms of his music. He shouldn't be just known for being a fun personality and a fun TV host. Like, he has so much talent in terms of his voice and his songwriting and his music. So
I full-heartedly agree. And I actually feel kind of guilty because I feel like I haven't given his music as much of a chance as I should. I know the songs that you have on the playlist, but I haven't like gone to listen to all of his discography. But I full-heartedly love him as a person. I think he is so great. Learning that he went to college and like had this whole other life before then making this long, successful career in Korea is so admirable. Like, what a boss thing to do. That has to be so scary. I don't even know if he spoke good Korean at the time. I think that kind of came as he was in Korea. So that's so cool. And I love his Daebak show, which is when he interviews idols. I literally was watching a bunch of them last night. Like, that is one of my main sources of content. I love it. And something about him is he makes everyone feel comfortable. And I mean, I'm kind of biased, but I do feel like that's the American in him a bit. Where he is just very friendly, very hospitable, gets along with everyone. And you can tell in the interviews that everyone really loves and respects him and feels comfortable with him. And it's also evident that he has relationships with a lot of these people behind the scenes. Mark from NCT, when he was on, they were talking about all their memories they have together and about how much his friendship has meant to Mark.
I love that.
That's such a good episode. I rewatched it last night. So I just appreciate him as a person for sure, and he has the charisma to be super popular, but I don't think his music has taken off to the point that, you know, as you said, it should. I don't think any of my friends in the US would know who that is. So he's just like kind of a smaller artist, but within that has had like a really successful career. So I do wish that he got more love for his music. I have heard his voice and it is incredible. And he's someone that, you know, a lot of idols can sing, but he can sing. Like, he has a talent for singing, and also, you know, songwrites, and is an artist. So that deserves a lot of respect.
Yeah. Thank you for appreciating him.
Of course.
I'm
How
going to
could I
send you some
not?
songs after this to listen to.
Okay, good. Okay, Eric, we love you. My next one I would like to speak about is Bobby.
Oh,
I get giddy just
Bobby.
thinking about him. I love him. If you listen to our concert experiences episode, which was a few episodes back, we talked about Sing Icon, which is the K-pop group Bobby is in, and about how much we are obsessed with Bobby, how I imprinted on him at the concert, and just think the world of him. I was waving to him from the audience. So, background on Bobby. He is a rapper. He's in the group Icon, but he really got his start on a Korean TV program called Show Me the Money, which, from what I understand, was like a rap competition. And a lot of famous rappers have actually come out of that show. And I believe that is where he met B.I., which is another rapper that I believe Rachel's going to speak about in a minute here. And Bobby and him are like BFFs, and they were both in the group Icon together. And I think another rapper called Minnow, who is really popular, came out of that show. So it was just like a hub for rappers. And Bobby won the show.
As he should.
And yes. And then from there became a trainee at JYP and then debuted in Icon. And when I was, preparing my bullet pointed list last night, I found out that he actually started releasing solo stuff like pretty soon after Icon debuted, which is awesome because I feel like lots of times they're not allowed to do that, or there's like a whole timeline for that type of thing. And so a big point I want to make is that he has a lot of respect as a rapper. I was on Reddit last night, like looking up some things, and I think it's pretty widely accepted that him, Zico, G-Dragon are like the top rappers of Korea and have a lot of respect.
I didn't know that.
Yes, these were what the Reddit threads were saying.
I mean, we were watching, we mentioned it last episode or the one before, Kingdom Legendary War.
Yes.
And it was so fun. We loved watching all of the reactions that the other idols were having to Bobby. They were obsessed with him. They were just fangirling over him. So I love hearing that.
Me too. And I was going to bring that up too. I feel like that was evident in the show that all of the participants like loved Bobby and thought the world of him and were amazed by him, especially like Han, who is also a rapper. So seeing other rappers I like be in love with Bobby was like so heartwarming. So I do think he is respected in the hip hop area of it all. Unfortunately, I think the group he was in never made him a global star to where, not everyone that likes K-pop knows who Bobby is, unfortunately, and I wish that they did. And when I say he's a rapper, he is great at rapping, but also his songs are easy listening. It's not like you have to be into hardcore Eminem rap to listen to his songs. His solo music is absolutely beautiful and incredible.
Incredible. And a lot of rap is unlistenable for me personally. Bobby's style of rap, though, is like it's slower and more lyrical.
Yes.
But still a rap. Like I feel like sometimes when people do that, it comes across as talk singing. And Bobby's is definitely still a rap, and it's still, but it's so lyrical, and he has such a unique tone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it shows his range too. Like it always sounds like him, but he's able to do a lot of different things. And that ties into him being an icon too, whose music is very different than his solo music, but still so good. Yeah. And again, I was doing some research last night and I was looking at his songwriting credits, and he's basically wrote every song for
that is so impressive.
Icon, like Tantara, You, Rhythm Ta, all the ones we love are him. And I don't want to spoil it because Rachel's talking about B.I. in a minute here, but basically B.I. and him wrote every song together, and I think we're like a songwriting duo. And so when they are an icon, I feel like they were kind of leading the charge. And now I feel like Bobby, I don't think he's technically the leader of the group, but it's clear he's the leader of the group. Like, they would be nothing without him. I think he is the driving force. I think they all look to him.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them really have like strong artistic vision or talent. Like, I think it's really Bobby leading the way, and I don't think they would have made it this far without him. He is kind of everything. And I love that even though he's so good as a soloist, he still loves his group and still works with them and writes all of these songs for them and is passionate about that too. I feel like that just like shows who he is and his personality too. He has the most insane voice. It's indescribable. It has such a tone and depth and richness but power to it, but it can be soft. And the way he just attacks the things he's saying, the way he enunciates, it is so captivating. Like, it really
I think it's
is my
gotta be
favorite
the
voice.
most distinct voice in K-pop that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Distinct in a good way.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then paired with his stage presence and just his natural movements and just the way that he performs, it's just a double whammy. Like, it is one of the best performances I've ever seen. Like, even when we were watching Kingdom Legendary War, his parts are the best. Like, they're so good. He stands out, and it doesn't seem like he's trying super hard. It's just natural for him, and I think that shows, and that is so attractive, and it just makes him seem even on another level. Also, I want to talk about kind of his personality, some attributes of him. He's a family man. He has a wife and a kid, which is so rare for someone in K-pop. And I guess maybe he doesn't have enough crazy fans for that to have been like a cancellation. I don't really know. I guess he's not necessarily like a heartthrob. He's not like a Jimin of BTS. I think he's adorable and amazing and super sweet and cute, but he's not like the hot guy everyone's in love with probably. So maybe that helps with like having a life and people just like respecting you, and maybe also just being kind of like a badass rapper. It's like, oh, okay, like,
yeah, just kind of having that attitude
tone.
of like, I'm gonna do what I want to do anyways.
And yeah, he seems so genuine, so sweet. He also lived in the US for a good period of his life, so again, global perspective. I think living other places gives you such a different outlook on life. Also speaks some English, which is always, just an added bonus, I feel, in this world. And he has really charted his own path and is confident in his solo stuff. Along with Jackson, along with Eric, how we're saying, these people have a vision. They know what they want to do, and they do it. And they're not getting kind of confused or convinced of things by the industry. They're staying true to them. His songs are him. It's what he wants to release. And they're all freaking bops. And he has the songwriting genius behind all of them. But he is humble, okay? He's not extra. He's not flaunting. He's not trying to be cutesy. He's not trying to be extra hot. He's just a normal, chill guy. He's not fame hungry. And that's something else I love about him. He has the talent to back it up, but doesn't put on this like facade or like weird character, which I feel like a lot of people in the industry do. And yeah, he's just a true artist. I feel like he lives and breathes it. Like, that's what he wanted to do and he pursued it. Whereas some people in K-pop, they're hot and got scattered on the street and they're not like, okay, I'll learn how to dance. Which again, I love those people, but it's just a different vibe. And I feel like people like Bobby deserve more respect and more credit because they are just like true artists who live and breathe the craft and really, in the grand scheme of things, like push things forward and evolve the industry. So in conclusion, Bobby is the best. I do think he has respect in terms of the industry, like within K-pop, like other idols respect him. And I think in the hip hop world, people know who he is, but I think he should be bigger. I think everyone should love him. I want people that know who BTS is to know who Bobby is as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a clap
Fabulous.
from the audience.
I'm clapping for those who can't see. That was so good. Yeah, we love Bobby. Bobby has so much talent. I think a common theme for people that you love is they have this star power that just radiates from them. Mm-hmm. And Bobby is one of those people. You can see it when he performs. You can hear it when you hear his music. Mm-hmm. He is so good. So I'm very glad that you talked about him.
Yeah, I mean, he the list would not be complete without Bobby. He is the first one that came to mind. I would live and die and ride for Bob.
For Bob. Our boy Bob.
He's in the military too, so hope he comes back safe.
Soon.
He has like a social media manager posting for him, and I'm loving the content. It's just like these random photo dumps, and I'm like, oh, it's so nice to see him even though he's away.
I know. I was wondering if that was him or somebody else because it was feeling very random.
I know. I was looking at his page, and actually in the bio it says run by someone. Like it tags the person that's like been doing it, and I think it's someone nice. Like his friend or like on his team or something. So that's just kind of funny. Yeah. So
you think he just like sends some photos that he's taken recently to that person and just like post them?
Or maybe they had like a shared iPhone like cloud folder, and he's like, here's some photos, just like post them while I'm away, like whenever. I don't know. But yeah, he tags the person, and it's like his friend that has 2,000 followers. Oh, that's his bio. Nice. It says account run by at this guy. So anyway, if you don't know Bobby, you should. Everyone's gonna love his music. I think anyone I know could be into his songs.
I think another common theme for music we like is just easy listening. And Bobby is like, you can put that on in any situation, doing anything at any time of day, and it's going to hit. It's totally. So good. We'll add all our favorite songs from these people onto the playlist.
Yeah.
I have a few more, and I'll make it quick because we've been yapping.
Yeah.
So I will make my last two quick. We've already touched on them, I feel like, briefly throughout our conversation, but to tag team off of iKON, I did want to give a shout out to BI, aka Hanbin, his Korean name. He is a musical genius, and I do feel like he's actually had a successful career post iKON. For those who might not know, BI was in iKON and had to leave the group because of some legal issues surrounding marijuana, I believe. And in Korea, that's a pretty huge deal. So he was asked to leave the group / left the group himself so he wouldn't hurt the group's popularity.
Yep.
So iKON used to be a group of 7, and once Hanbin BI left, they were a group of 6. But Lindsay mentioned it. BI and Bobby, when they were in the group together, were a kind of a songwriting duo.
It actually hurts me to think about. Like, think about the potential, what they could have done together, but now, like, Bobby literally can't work with him. And I'm sure they're, like, best friends, or at least that's my perspective of it. I hope they're still best friends, but just, like, obviously can't publicly be seen together. And it's just sad because they were writing all of these songs together, and now probably legally, etc., they can't be.
Maybe like they go to each other for advice on their music, and they like get to hear it and offer ideas and inspiration and stuff. We can think that maybe behind the scenes it's happening. Yeah, when they were together, they were writing incredible songs for iKON, and they both, I think, are just musical geniuses, and together could have conquered the entire K-pop industry, we're convinced. So BI had to leave the group, and he had to be under the radar for several years post court ruling and community service and who knows what else. But he started making some solo music after that, and his solo stuff is so good. I don't think he's made a single bad song. Not only are they so catchy, like every single song is like, the beat is amazing, the melody is amazing, just so fun to listen to. He also has a very distinct style of rap and singing that I don't think it has Bobby's tone, but you can definitely tell it's B.I. And I just think he's one of the most talented, like, songwriters, producers.
Yeah.
And he, like I mentioned, has had a successful career, I think, despite everything that has gone on. I think a lot of people would not have been able to come back from that, but because of how talented he is, he made it happen. And I do think he is more known globally than in Korea, or at least they're known about in Korea, but not loved. I think he has a lot of international fans, and he recently went on an international tour and I think did really well. But I just think that more people should know about him. And same way that you feel about Bobby, I think that he should be recognized globally for how incredible his music is and how talented of a songwriter and producer he is.
So good. I wholeheartedly agree with everything you're saying. I have loved all of the songs of him I've heard, but I really should do my due diligence and go listen to like literally every song he's released. There isn't one I don't like. I would also like to tell you that when I was on the Reddit threads of best Korean rappers, B.I. was also mentioned several times as well in that grouping. And I feel like as like hip hop gods of Korea, the style of Bobby and B.I. is kind of like, you know, top dogs. Zico was mentioned a lot. This guy named Nino, who I think was also on the show with B.I. and Bobby, the Show Me the Money.
I guess, yeah, all of those people all kind of have a similar style of rap, which is that more toned down lyrical form of rap. This style of rap is very fun to listen to, very, very easy to listen to. The last person I want to give a shout out to real quick is Woosung of The Rose. And I've mentioned The Rose before. I love them dearly. I don't know if they classify as K-pop or like K-rock or K-indie or K-alternative. K-something. They're a band. They actually play their instruments when they perform live. And Woosung is the lead singer, and he has a lot of solo stuff. And I just feel like The Rose as well is not as popular as they should be. They're very overlooked. But Woosung as well. Woosung has a very distinct voice. It's so raspy and has like such a unique tone. His voice is just like soulful. And he was on a show. I don't really know how it works. He was like in The Rose, but he like went on this show by himself, like a singing show. And really, they released a lot of the songs that he did on that. And it was a lot of kind of ballads and covers. And he sang Sign of the Times by Harry Styles. And I recently heard that for the first time. And I was like, oh my gosh, my world will never be the same. It's so good. I was like, a K-pop star singing one of my favorite stars, aka Harry Styles' song. I'm unwell. But yeah, he is so talented, and again, his voice live, so good, and he is so talented, and I think that he deserves way more recognition, as well as The Rose. So The Rose and him together.
You know that as I've mentioned throughout this whole episode, I like when people have a vision, are artists, like have the talent, work on it. It's their craft. And it sounds like this is the case, and that he plays an instrument. Big green flag for me. Love that. And yeah, I'm really interested in hearing his solo stuff.
He also is from, he was born in Korea, but then lived in the U.S. So he is an American citizen. He didn't have to do Korean military. And like, yeah, his English is incredible. And obviously, since he's lived in, I think LA is where he's from. He's lived there for a really long time, but you would like his personality. He's funny and very cool. Yeah, I think I might have just put you on to someone that you're going to really like.
Oh my God, not another person I need to be obsessed with. Another one.
It's a
Now
never ending
my list of like dream people to see in concert is growing too. We should go on a global tour where we just go to concerts. All right. Well, I had so much fun talking about all these people that we love. For our ending mint, I just want to say, be a fan of things, guys, and ride for the people that you love. It's so fun to do so. And please check out these people that we like if you don't know anything about them. And let us know who you think is underrated in the K-pop industry. Who should we be listening to? Who should have more respect? We obviously are always looking for new things to find and obsess over, even though the list we already have is quite
I have more love
long.
to give.
There's always more room. Yeah, I've heard that your heart only doubles in size, you know?
Thank you so much for listening, and make sure to follow us on social media, Kpop Light Pod. You can watch us on YouTube if you want a visual. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay by our side.